All right, so imagine this is Columbus, Ohio, and these are all the suburbs in it. So many to choose from, so many different suburbs and so many different options. Where do you go and what's best for you and your family? Usually for all of our clients, there's three things they're looking for: safety, good schoolings, and something that's not gonna completely break the bank. If that's you, this video is for you. We're gonna cover Dublin, Ohio, a location that I still think is a hidden gem here in Columbus because albeit people know about it, they don't know everything about it. I believe that Dublin, Ohio is still the place to go. In this video, we're gonna cover exactly why.
1 + 1, 2 + 2. How many drugs till I forget you? 1 + 1, 2 + 2.
What's up guys, Kagan here, your favorite real estate guide. And here's the thing, this piece of hair, it's not willing to come down. Kind of annoying, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna show you Dublin from an actual perspective of a local. You're gonna see every single thing as I'm actually talking about it. And we're gonna explore some few important things. One of the most unique and ubiquitous aspects of Dublin is this: its juxtaposition of the urban sprawl and the suburban vibes. You see, in places like Soto, you're gonna get a lot of things from a proximity standpoint to the actual bridge parks, to apartments and restaurants and everything else in between. This is a place that you go to have a fun nights out. But at the same time, 5 to 10 minutes away, just a quick drive here and there, you get different places. From Murfield's Village to the Tartan's Field and everything else in between, there's locations that people are calling home. And stick around because we're gonna talk about the specific schools that I'm seeing every single person congregate to. One of the most important things for our real estate clients is the home prices, and it's a no-brainer. You see, when Kyle and Jenna called us a few months back, they said one thing: I need somewhere that's not gonna break the bank, but at the same time, I know it's good for my 6-year-old daughter. Adorable. So we looked at some options, we discussed every single thing, and their budget was around the $650 range. When we're looking at specific schools, especially as she starts to grow up, we looked at Dublin and we saw it was the perfect place. From the blend of amenities and things to do with people in their 30s, to still activities that they can do as a family, to ultimately having a relaxed and a community that's engaged, that's just like everyone else. They saw Dublin and said, this is exactly where I wanna live. And that's kind of the characteristics of the individuals that are moving here that we're seeing left and right. You see, the median home price in Dublin right now hovers around $589,000, seeing a 13% increase from last year. And here's what that means for you. If you're looking for fantastic education and you can actually afford this range, that's gonna be amazing. A lot of the clients that we have that are actively looking to live in Columbus that want something of a suburban sprawl, this is the range for them. Especially with the software engineers and people that are making the six-figure salaries that are looking at options. They've definitely got a few options here and there, but generally Dublin takes the cake. Now here's the other catch, right? A lot of the locals here, they're not too happy about the people actually coming here. And stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you exactly why that's the case and what it actually means for you if you're thinking about relocating to Columbus. But the other thing to add as well, in terms of days on market, it's around the 50 to 60 day mark depending on the price point and how quickly the seller wants to sell. One of the most important factors that our team looks for in terms of a real estate contract and an actual real estate bidding is days on market. If we see a property has been on market longer days, we know one specific thing: nobody wants it. Let's get you a deal. And without dealing with all this rigmarole and every single thing that exists, there's also a lot of caveats, right? If you're thinking about Dublin, so are other people. But why is that the case? I know we talked about specific locations. Let me talk to you about the recreational opportunities and actual amenities that exist, because it's absolutely crazy. You see, Dublin has over 1,500 acres of parkland and over 100 different parks within it. Number one is gonna have to be the Scioto Park. And let me tell you, from an amenities standpoint, this is the place to be. On a Saturday, if I'm going on maybe a date or I'm with one of my friends or something like that, I've got a ton of options here that I know I can actually have a great time for, and it's not gonna break the bank. Well, first and foremost, you've got the Scioto River. That's how you pronounce it. Let me tell you, the views here are absolutely breathtaking. If you want breathtaking river views, this is the place to be. The park features walking trails, a fishing area, and a giant Native American leather lips sculpture overlooking the actual Scioto River. It is perfect for a weekend picnic. And when we are actually going out, maybe with some of our, our younger nieces and nephews, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So we gotta be careful, right? Making sure that they don't actually get in trouble. But for the most part, we have a great time. And this next one, I don't really see too many people mention it on YouTube, but Kaufman's Park, that's a place to look into. I consider it the social hub of Dublin, right? You've got massive playgrounds, you've got sport events, and actually a gathering for a ton of people. It also features a state-of-the-art skate park, tennis courts, and an outdoor amphitheater used for concerts and performances. If you enjoy concerts and performances and you enjoy skating, I mean, this is the place you gotta look into. Listen, I don't know about you, but I had aspirations to become an American Ninja Warrior when I was young. Is it normal? Is it just me? But let me tell you, Glacier Ridge Park, they've got that actually taken care of because there's a real life obstacle course where you can practice stunts. What? If hiking and exploring is your thing, Glacier Ridge Metro Park offers miles of woodland and prairie trails, a Ninja Warrior style obstacle course, and a scenic boardwalk through wetlands where you can actually spot deers, eagles, and other wildlife as well. This has to be one of the most stunning areas in all of Dublin to take your family to maybe go on a date or just have a solo trip where you got to clear your mind. And if you're a golfer, we talked about this in the prior videos, but Murfield Golf Course, which was actually founded by the legendary man himself, Jack Nicklaus, yeah, it's iconic. And this private club hosts the annual memorial tournament, part of the PGA Tour, attracting some of the world's top golfers. But listen, if you're looking for maybe a secondary option, a place that's not as active, but definitely is really amazing, the club in Tartan's Field is also fantastic. A luxurious private golf club with an Arnold Palmer design course, high-end dining, and a family-friendly events all year round. This is the perfect spot for those looking for an upscale country club experience, but without the same attractive level as Murfield Village. Now, if you're a family man or a family woman, I get that. Let me tell you, there's some options here where your little kids, they can start learning how to play at a young age, so eventually they become the next Tiger Woods, and that's gonna be the Safari Golf Course. If you want to bring the kids to Safari Golf Club, it is a family-friendly, fun course owned by the Columbus Zoo. Located near the actual zoo, it's the perfect place for a casual game with the beautiful landscapes and wildlife-themed holes. We got things to do there. And from biking and running trails with the Dublin Link pedestrian and actual bike bridge park, the Indian Runs Fall Trail as well, to events and cultural attractions and traditions alike. There's always something here for everyone. And when I say there's cultural things, the name Dublin resonates with Dublin, Ireland. So you can just tell the Dublin Irish Festival is absolutely bonkers. But that's not all. You've also got so many other fun things to do here as well. From the Dublin's Art Council, which is local artists, public art installations, and interactive community exhibits, to the Kaufman Amphitheater concerts, which is free live music every summer featuring national and local bands. There's always going to be something to do. And in terms of actual food and drinks, let me tell you, we've got this taken care of. From Vaso Rooftop Lounge, which is the best rooftop bar in all of Columbus, offering panoramic views of the Scioto River, to the Avenue Steak Tavern, a high-end steakhouse with a classic yet modern twist, to one of the most prominent known locations, the North Market Bridge Park, which has a ton of local vendors, to the most prominent location, which is the North Market Bridge Park, which if you're a foodie, you're good. This is a food lover's paradise, featuring artisans food vendors from all over Columbus. You'll find authentic ramen, gourmet tacos, let's go, craft beers, and handmade desserts all under one roof. If you're a foodie, you're good here. If you like hiking, you're good here. If you like golfing, you're good here. And listen, if you're thinking about making a move, we partner with some of the most fantastic agents and lenders in all of Columbus. All of our information is linked down below. If you want to move now, in 9 days, or even 90 days, 9 years, potentially, we'd love the opportunity just to help you obviously answer any questions that you have to make this a smooth ride. All right, I'm gonna use the same analogy here. Let's pretend that this is Dublin, and this is all the locations within Dublin that you can actually live in. So many different options. There are just so many to choose from. Well, it's a good thing that you've got me, because there's different areas and different strokes for different folks. And let me tell you, Dublin has such a different variance in terms of actual locations. It's amazing. Starting off with Murfield Village. I know we talked about the actual golf course, but this is a location that we're seeing a ton of our clients actively move to for a few specific reasons. Number one has to be the estate-styled homes with sprawling yards and mature trees, gated entrances, and private streets that's added for security. The actual golf course, well, obviously it's going to be a plus bonus, and there's miles of walking and biking trails to go alongside with it. 2 private pools, tennis courts, and multiple playgrounds for residents only. Obviously, you've got access to Dublin's highly rated schools, making it an educational hotspot. And let me tell you, in terms of the price point on these locations, you got $650 to around $2 million. But with that being said, there's also so many other locations in Dublin that it's absolutely amazing. You see, we actually had a client of ours that reached out from Columbus. She said, listen, you guys know what you're talking about, and I need help with these things. When we talked about Dublin and we talked about all the locations as a whole, there's a few specific things that were really important to her. Number one was boutique coffee shops. Number two was something that was charming and little, and you kind of got to know your neighbor and that sort of vibe. We walked her through all the options. One of the few things that really stood out to her and what she really just loved, my stutter's coming out, is the quaint walkable areas. She loved the fact that it's walkable neighborhoods with brick paved sidewalks. There's boutique shoppings, art galleries, and gourmet restaurants. Family-friendly year-round events like the Dublin Irish Festival and St. Patrick's Day Parade. You obviously got access to the Dublin Link pedestrian bridge as well, and then its proximity again to the Dublin City School District and overall just the business hub that exists. You know, on top of this, I've always been a new construction kind of guy. I just love watching the newer homes being built and actually having that accessibility factor to it. And it's kind of like me and Jerome Village, we think alike. Because if you want to live in a new construction-esque area where there's more newer homes, Jerome Village is the place to go. You see, some few cool things about this is that this master plan community offers newer construction homes, top-rated schools, and a family-friendly lifestyle, all at a lower price point than those ultra-luxury home areas. Jerome Village isn't just one neighborhood, it's a massive master plan development sprawling over 2,000 acres, designed to bring a mix of modern living, green spaces, and community amenities to Dublin's residents who want that upscale suburban living without that multi-million-dollar price tag. And we actually spoke about Jerome Village in another video that we did where we talked about the most exclusive neighborhoods, because albeit the home prices here don't necessarily start at the same higher echelon of price points, they can definitely get up there. So you've got the option of obviously having a cheaper, more affordable living aspect, but you can also get up to the $1.5 to $2 million price ranges. What's really cool about this is the Bridge Park is only about 15 minutes away from Jerome Village. So obviously if you want a night out, you got that option there. And the Jerome Village Bar and Grill, I mean, it's a fantastic area for all the locals that live here that just want something to enjoy and not have to go too far out. Listen, I don't have any kids of my own, but I understand how paramount education is. Now, if you told my mom the exact same thing, she's gonna say, knowing you probably do. And we're gonna have a massive argument about it. It's gonna be all laughs and funny at the end of the day. But right now, if we're talking about just education, we gotta talk about a few locations in Dublin that really stand out. Because let me tell you, all schools are not made the same. And here in Dublin, we've got some schools that are absolutely nuts. Let's start with elementary schools. Nestled in the heart of Dublin, Mary Emma Bailey Elementary School stands as a beacon of educational excellence. Serving approximately 566 students from kindergarten through 5th grade, the school maintains a commendable student-to-teacher ratio with about 21:1. Fostering personalized attention and a nurturing learning atmosphere. In terms of math proficiency, the students have reached about a 90% proficiency level. Now, English is like my 5th language. Please don't make fun of me when I can't pronounce half these words correctly. And in terms of English proficiency, it's about an 89% overall. And the school's name, well, it's actually for honor's sake. It's got a really cool story behind it. You see, Mary Emma Bailey is a distinguished alum of the Dublin High School, class of 1923. Her dedication to education and the community serves as an enduring aspiration, reflecting the school's rich heritage and commitment to excellence. Now, as we start actually moving up the ladder and we talk a little bit more in terms of elementary schools and everything else past that, well, you have to look at Griffith Thomas's elementary school. Chartering around 5 513 students in kindergarten through 5th grade, the school boasts a favorable student-to-teacher ratio of approximately around 17-to-1 ratio. And in terms of a collegiate aspect, let me tell you, we've got that taken care as well. From the Ohio University Dublin campus that exists here, which was established in 2014, the actual campus is an extension of Ohio University, primarily focusing on health sciences and medical education. From the Heritage Schools of Osteopathic Medicine, the College of Health Sciences and Professions, and the College of Business. The actual campus provides state-of-the-art facilities and fosters partnerships with local healthcare providers, offering students hands-on experiences in their respectable fields. And hey, let me tell you, this is something that I am big fan of. I love it when everything rolls in one location, and this is something that's being lost all over. Let me explain. You see, when our kids, or not kids, your kids go to elementary, middle school, high school, college here, and they also have educational opportunities that coincide with job opportunities. That is what, number one, boosts the GDP and the economics of the area. And number two, that's what creates healthy family relationships. Both of those things, I personally feel like we're kind of missing in the world today. I want my kids to obviously get really good schooling. I also want them to get really good jobs. If we can do that, obviously, in one location, that's gonna make me a pretty happy dad. And then combining with this, you've also got the community college as well. The Dublin Regional Learning Center is a part of the Columbus State Community College, which offers a variety of courses and programs to meet the needs of Dublin's residents. The center provides accessible education options, including associate degrees, certificate programs, and pathways for transferring to four-year institutions. It's an excellent resource for someone that's obviously just looking for an associate's or looking to step up in that level as well. Now, albeit these specific schools that don't exist in Dublin are in a close enough proximity. I mean, obviously you've got the Ohio State University, and you've also got Mount Carmel's School of Nursing. For families that are looking for that educational facilitation, we've got that taken care of. And I think that kind of exemplifies every single thing about Dublin. From talking about the actual market and the real estate conditions, to the activities that you can do that are really fun and kind of cheap, honestly, to overall just the homes and the neighborhoods that exist, to education, which has to be covered. You've got safety involved in this because, well, Dublin overall is a pretty safe area. Now, the only caveat to this is going to be the Short North Art District. And a lot of people don't talk about this, but I'm going to give it to you straight. A lot of drug problems and all of issues that we're seeing, that's the place that it's occurring from.
The Short North neighborhood is often billed as the bustling artistic hub of Columbus, but this vibrant community does have a dark side, a complicated history with crime. This neighborhood filled with busy restaurants and bars actually got its name from police.
And if you're a family, then obviously I'm not going to tell you to live here. I'm also not going to tell you to live there, but I'm going to tell you to do your research and look at all these locations so ultimately you know exactly where you want to be. The worst thing that can happen is you pick a place and then you realize it's, well, filled with things that are inappropriate that you're not really looking for yourself or for your family. So I say, and I encourage, obviously, the exploration of these suburban areas, homes that are more aligned and culturally combined with what specifically you're looking for. Those are the areas that I would pick. Dublin is fantastic. It's got every single thing that can take care of you. And honestly, it's kind of a miniaturized version of Columbus. And, you know, talking about just that, I actually did a video on the pros and cons of actually living in Columbus in 2025. And I'm going to put that video right here. Watch it, and I'll see you soon.